Welcome to the German Touring Car Masters 2002. This is a quiet, idyllic scene right now. The beautiful village of Hockenheim, Germany. It's here that the traditional start is made for the German Touring Car Masters, year number 3. It's a Sunday afternoon, a good crowd is on hand, and Hockenheim is waiting for the noise before the start of the storm. And the storm is about to begin. The cars have been ready most of the week. The fans have had their opportunity to get all the autographs they could possibly want. It's time to get serious. And how's that for a souvenir? All kinds available. The drivers, the cars, and the fans, and the teams. Everyone has worked hard over the winter for this very moment. The testing has been going on all week. New young drivers, the veterans, all of them here parading for the fans on the short course at Hockenheim. This course is 1.62 miles long. It means the fans get to see the cars more often than anywhere else. And at the beginning, it's pure show just for the fans. This year, brand new, the head and neck support system is added to the helmets. The purpose, of course, safety for the drivers. Laurent Aiello, one of the favorites for the title this year in the Audi. He came on strong at the end of last year. But now, this is what lies ahead. It's actually an old new course. It has a brand new surface. There'll be more grip. It'll be tough on the brakes. No matter what, the man on front has the advantage.
Strategy is not to miss the starts. And then try to profit of the fact that we've got 2 or 3 TT on the first row, just to protect or to try to stay on the same position.
We had a lot of good testing before the start of the season. Christian worked on the setup and we could use it immediately. For the first race, well, it's just a matter of fine-tuning. I never would have thought it'd been so good. And there they are, the 21 cars that will start the race today. Laurent Aiello is on the pole, his teammate Tomczak on the outside pole, and a third Audi with Karl Wendlinger starts third, and the best Opel, Manuel Reuter. Christian Abt, Mattias Ekström, and a couple of more Audis. And so you can see Audi has done extremely well in the season. The defending champion, Bernd Schneider, is starting 7th. So we're ready to go. A standing start, brand new this year. On the left, Tomczak. On the right, Aiello. Here we go. Some of the drivers in the back got a great start, but the 2 Audis are out in front. And look at Wendlinger moving into third. Great move there, rather Ekström. And the crowd goes through the first turn very nicely. For those who've watched Hockenheim before, it's much narrower now, and they've changed the asphalt there so that they don't have as much people getting stuck in the sand. So the Audi's off to a fantastic start here. And look at that, Manuel Reuter has moved into the, I believe, 5th spot in the Opel. So Opel is off to a great start after their trying year last year. But this is totally different than what things started last year. Look at that, the Audis, 1, 2, 3, and 4. Tomczak is first. Then comes Aiello. Then comes Ekström. You're riding back in 7th position with the defending champion, Bernd Schneider, who had his problems in qualifying. Incidentally, that smoke you see in the screen, that's a tradition here at Hockenheim. People drop smoke canisters down with the colors of their favorite drivers. Right now, it better be yellow. Amazing. Tomczak out in front. 23 years old in the 2nd season in the series and leading in the first race of the season. And his boss, Christian Abt, is running back in 4th place. The rest of the field sorting itself out. Mercedes having its share of problems already. In 5th place is Reuter, then comes Schneider. Then comes Wendlinger in another Audi. You can tell Wendlinger's car, one of the new drivers in the field from Formula 1. It's a blue car with white mirrors. There comes Schneider. The blue car with the dark mirrors is Ekström, one of the young talents in the series, 23 years old. A great future ahead of him. There's another driver with that PM black Opel, Timo Scheider, another of the top drivers in the series. Get a good look at the infield section here at Hockenheim, a course that will be undergoing a major change, but we'll talk about that a little later. There's your leader, Tomczyk, then Aiello, Ekström, followed by Christian Abt. Then comes Reuter in that pure yellow with the yellow mirror Opel. A lot of yellow here this year. As you can see, this corner has been worked over a little bit. The course is actually a little shorter than it was in the past because they've worked on the first corner to set up for the new course, which you can see the construction section in the back of your screen there. And that's what they're working on. That's for the course has taken on a change, particularly in the first corner, which is narrower than it was before. But the Audis continue to be up front, back in the pack. There you have two cars bumping. Albers and Hoosman go off the course. The two Dutchmen collide. Albers, one of the newcomers in his second year. Hoosman also in his second year, but a veteran of touring car racing. Hoosman gets his car back out. It looks like Christian Albers has got a problem. They're going to have to tow him out. Hoosman looks like he bumped into Albers. Albers had the line. Hoosman didn't want to give it to him, and off they go.
I came with the field again. I overtook Patrick Hausman, and then Winkhawk went off. So I tried to overtake him. I was on the inside, but he didn't see me, I think, and just drove into me. And there was no problem still there, but then Patrick just gave me a touche in a quick corner in the Motodrom coming in, and yeah, it was over.
But it's certainly not over for Martin Tomczyk out in front here, followed by Laurent Aiello. Aiello had started on the pole, but the young Tomczyk beat him in the standing start. There's Manuel Reuter, followed by Timo Scheider, and then Karl Wendlinger. They're battling for positions 5, 6, and 7 back in the pack. Reuter, one of those who did a lot of testing, as did Timo Scheider in the offseason in the new Opels, which last year had such a difficult year. This year, at least, they're back up amongst the leaders. There you can see the rest of them. Bernd Schneider, your defending champion, has dropped back to 8th. The newcomer, John O'Lazy, is right behind him, and Wendlinger has spun. That was Karl Wendlinger spinning in the middle of the track. Everybody else starts to bump around in that Mercedes crowd. But Wendlinger tucks in behind. He'd been running pretty well, and then all of a sudden lost it. Dumbreck comes by. You can see how far back Wendlinger has fallen. Tomczyk, Aiello, running by themselves. Take another look at it. He did that on his own. That was a solo dance. And now he's lucky that nobody hits him. Everybody gets around him. So now he's got his work cut out for him. How strong is the Audi? Maybe we'll find out now. Bernd Schneider has had a few little problems here in the going. He had started 7th, dropped back into 8th. But it doesn't look like he's running the way he'd like to. Peter Dumbreck comes by, then Fessler. And there's a Lazy going by, followed by Alsen and then Schneider in that gray with the red trim Mercedes. Take a look at this start from a different view. That car right in the center is Dumbreck. Boy, what a great start he got. Dumbreck had qualified not where he'd like to, and watch him get a good start. He's on the right of your screen. See him cut right there between these two cars? What a great start for Peter Dumbreck. He's driving one of the last year models. There are 4 brand new models of Mercedes, and he's got last year's, and he got such a great start. Not bad. The Albers car being pushed into the garage area. They'll work on it so he can come out in the second race of the day. Once again, you're with Bernd Schneider in the busy part of the course on the infield. And there he is, being followed by Karl Wendlinger. In qualifying yesterday, Schneider had his problems coming out of that corner. In fact, on his one really good lap he had, he went off the course right at that point and blew the lap. So Mercedes continues to struggle a little bit, which is very unusual since they dominated here last year. But the Audis and the 2 Opels are running extremely well. Right now, your best Mercedes is right there. That's Dumbreck, followed by Marcel Fessler, the teammate of Uwe Alsen. The Fessler car is the one with the green rear view mirrors. Sometimes it's a little hard to tell these cars apart. Dumbreck has those red mirrors. There comes a lazy. Now, a lazy, whoa! Manuel Reuter's off the course. Manuel Reuter has gone off the course. The top Opel has a problem. Here's what it looked like inside as he gets back going. So Opel loses one of his top contenders, and now it's got one of its young drivers to count on. Take another look at it. He did that by himself. Whoa, and he just missed. So did Dumbreck. That was close. Lucky all the way around, nobody else was involved. Here's what it looked like right from your living room sofa. And Husmann is receiving a warning for bumping Albers. We're just past the halfway mark here in the qualification race. Good crowd on hand to watch the start of a new season. Drivers from 8 European countries are here. Germany, the Netherlands, Switzerland, France, England, Austria, Sweden, and Belgium. A great field, 6 Opels, 10 Mercedes, and 5 Audis. And right now, 4 of those Audis are out in front. An amazing performance. Timo Scheider, the best of the Opels, running 5th right there. Then comes Fessler. He's gotten by Dumbreck, so Marcel Fessler, who last year was battling all the time with Uwe Alsen and trying to get up toward the front, finally did toward the end of the season, running very strong here as the qualification race in the German Touring Car Masters was underway. Volker Stritzig from Opel. Concerned? Maybe not. He certainly feels a little bit better about where his cars are running than he did last year. The Mercedes crew continue to run together. The best of them so far is Fessler. Their champion, Bernd Schneider, continues to run way back. Look at the distance here between these cars. The Audis are just running perfectly. They were given a little bit of leeway on their rear wings over the winter, and evidently that's what they needed to get out in front here. Ekström doing a great job in his second year of driving for the Audi team. Prepared by Christian Abt, considered to be actually a private team. Mercedes and Opel are factory-supported teams. Audi is under the private team of Abt Sportsline. All 5 of them. And what a winter they've done. A lot of work. And the boss, or one of the co-bosses actually, Christian Abt, is running 4th. Carl Wendlinger had his problems there and spun, or he'd be running up in that group too. But there's Ekström, one of the fine young drivers in the series, 23 years old. He comes from Sweden and certainly has proven that the young drivers are to be contended with in the German Touring Car Masters. And this year is as good a mix of age as you can imagine. Aiello here is 32 years of age. The older drivers, Reuter, Winkelhock, Alesi. Last lap. And it looks like Martin Tomczyk, after some great performances last year and some almost wins, is going to pick up a victory in the German Touring Car Masters. First race of the season. Not bad. And Opel looking good here as Timo Scheider running in 5th place, the top Mercedes. Fessler followed by Dumbreck. Then comes Alesi with a great performance. Formula One driver joining touring cars puts on a great show. Then comes Alsen, and finally Wendlinger is behind Alsen. It's a little surprising that Mercedes is this far back. On the other hand, Audi did its work. You've got to congratulate them. They're doing a fantastic job here, particularly this young man. He continues to roll beautifully along. Martin Tomczyk, 20 years old, going for victory here at Hockenheim. And there's the other part of the team, Hans-Jürgen Abt, already congratulating themselves as Martin Tomczyk takes the checkered flag. Aiello is 2nd. And then Ekström and Christian Abt. What a great performance for Audi. Who would have thought that this would be the standings after the first race of the season, after last year's performances? Audi, 1, 2, 3, and 4. Opel with Scheider is 5th. Fessler, the best Mercedes. Alesi is 8th. And look at that, the defending champion, Bernd Schneider, is 11th. There's more to a German Touring Car Masters weekend than just the races themselves. Of course, there are the rollouts and the test sessions on Friday. There are the practice sessions and the qualifying on Saturday. But there are also these events. Open house. The fans can walk around the pits, they can walk around the garage area, and certainly can collect every single autograph that they could imagine. Many race series in Europe, the drivers are a little bit away from the fans. The fans can't get up close and touch their heroes. Here, they get every autograph and every chance to talk with any person that they may want to. And when you look at these drivers, you realize, we mentioned earlier, 8 nationalities, but that's very important because these drivers will not only be driving in Germany, they're going to be 4 times outside of the country. They're going to be in Zolder, Belgium. They're going to be in Donington Park in England. They're going to be in Austria at the Aiello. They're going to be in Zandvoort. They're going to be there in Holland for some great racing. So the fans have an opportunity not only to meet their favorites, but also to get plans for what they want to do in the future. Where can I take my vacation with the German Touring Car Masters? And some people actually think that way. Jochen Winkelhock, one of the veterans of the series. Uwe Alsen, a very popular driver. Not afraid to bump fenders. So the autographs are always there. The fans have their opportunities. But you see, there's more to these weekends than just the autograph sessions. There are opportunities to, as we mentioned, walk the pits, walk the track. They can get out and get a feel for what these drivers have to do. But they also can walk around, particularly here at Hockenheim, around a museum. They can walk around with plenty of area for souvenirs. Or, well, they can also get some real nice music from Brosis.
Came down from up above. Don't know where she went. You know where she went? My baby, tell me.
Yeah, to be here, it's the first time. It's the first time that I've been here, seen it myself, and I've only seen it on TV before. It's naturally great for us. I think it's great that we really get the atmosphere here, the engine noise, the tires squealing. But now it's back to racing. Tomczyk on the pole, Laurent Aiello on the outside pole, reversed after qualifying. The question is going to be, can Aiello make up for that? Well, he got beaten, quite frankly, by Tomczyk. And so now, can Tomczyk do it again, or is Aiello going to get the jump on the standing start? A first for the German Touring Car Masters. What's also going to be interesting is tire wear and brake wear. During this particular race, there's going to have to be a mandatory pit stop. It'll come at about 1/3 of the way into the race, but it's mandatory. All cars have to come in and change all 4 tires. Here we go. Let's see who gets the jump this time. Aiello is off. Tomczyk is stalled. Tomczyk is not moving. Look at Aiello. He gets the jump. Ekström is right in there with him. So is Abt. And look at Jean Alesi, the Frenchman in his first touring car event, moving right up into the top 5. What a great start. Going through what's called the anthill curve, because of the old anthills, it used to be on the outside of that curve. Through a connecting piece, onto a wide open corner, and now into the right-hander that brings them back into the Motodrom. And Aiello has the lead. Ekström, and look at that, Alesi is running 3rd. What a great start for the former Formula One driver. Abt is running in 4th position, and the rest of the field starts to sort itself out here on the short course at Hockenheim, race number 2 in the German Touring Car Masters season opener. Aiello with a great jump, way out in front. He's put time and space between himself and Ekström has time and space between Alesi and himself. Abt, and then comes Alsen and Fessler, the teammates. Bernd Schneider is in 7th position. And the best Opel so far, Timo Scheider. So Scheider, who last year for the longest time was the only driver for Opel that had any points, continues to show his continuity. Stays up in the points. Uwe Alsen goes off the course. Whoa, and he cuts back in and doesn't hit anybody. That was close. Once again through the slow corner, heading back toward the Motodrom, the busy part. Take another look at this. A couple of cars have stalled, but up front, a Lazy in those two yellow Opels. Watch on the inside as a Lazy keeps up into fourth place and then will take over third. What a great drive. Couple of cars go off. You can see the way the course has been redone here as they come through this first corner. It's a little more narrow, a little sharper, and they got rid of the gravel on the outside so cars wouldn't get stuck. There's asphalt out there, and a couple of these drivers are happy about that. For instance, Jochen Winkelhock right there in that red Opel. Another look at Uwe Alsen going off the course, cuts right back in front of Timo Scheider. Couldn't get any closer than that. Looks like Wendlinger is right behind Scheider. Laurent Aiello, fastest lap so far. He had the fastest lap in the first race. Bernd Schneider seems to have moved up as the Mercedes crew watches from their pit view. But look at Laurent Aiello. Alsen has gone off. Uwe Alsen has gone off the course. Something must be wrong. He had that spin into the grass, and now he's off the course. Bernd Schneider being passed there. The defending champion, in fact, the two-time champion in the series. He's won the first 2 years. Wants to do it again. But it looks like right now he's going to have to work hard to catch up with the Audis. Of course, the first race is the first race. There are several more to go, and anything can happen. But the importance of the fact that Audi has said, we're here and you're going to have to beat us, that is the key. Another spin. This time it is Dumbreck in the middle of traffic. So Peter Dumbreck, who had done well, spins. Uwe Alsen goes off into the tires. Norbert Haug on the right, wondering what's going on here. Aiello. Then comes Ekström. Jean Alesi. Christian Abt. Marcel Fessler. Bernd Schneider. Timo Scheider. And Karl Wendlinger. It looks like it is it's an Audi of Tomczyk. But Bernd Schneider continues to prove consistency here and continues to work forward. This is a track where you have to have some patience. You know there's a pit stop coming. You know the tires are going to wear fast. You also know it's very tough on brakes. If you can conserve the car a little bit up front, when the time comes at the end of the race, then you can push just a little bit harder. And Bernd Schneider, who last year was called the Terminator, the Dominator, whatever you'd like, because of all the races he won, is certainly one of the most experienced drivers in the field. He's driven just about every type of car, including Formula One. But he certainly has found a home in touring cars, and there's his wife. But right now, she's getting a different view than where her husband normally is running in these events. He's got his work cut out for him, no doubt about it. Of course, that's to the advantage and the happiness of the Audi fans. Timo Scheider right behind him. Two generations of drivers here. Bernd Schneider is 37. Scheider, on the other hand, is 23. So you got two generations competing against each other. But that's what makes this series so good. A couple of 20-year-olds. The oldest is 41. That's Jochen Winkelhock in that red Opel we saw a few minutes ago. Wendlinger is now starting to push. Karl Wendlinger in that blue Audi is pulling up behind Bernd Schneider. He got by Timo Scheider. And now the question is going to be, how far can he go? And we have more passing going on in the back of the pack here. This is getting very tight all of a sudden. Alesi is running in third, but being pushed by Christian Abt. And Christian Abt doesn't mind a little bit of contact here and there. The question is Alesi ready for it? And he got tapped. Jean Alesi was tapped going through. That's something that wouldn't happen in Formula One, but in touring cars, welcome to the world, the German Touring Car Masters. That's Fessler now, also got by. So Jean Alesi kept the car under control, but has lost a couple of slots here. Here's the next group led by Bernd Schneider. The field continues to sort itself out. The Mercedes crew back in the pack. Let's take another look at that. Christian Abt, a slight little tap here. That takes Olazy off the perfect line. And as Abt got by, so did Fessler. But now the question is going to be, can he come back? That's Martin Tomczyk up behind Karl Wendlinger. And look at this, that's Marcel Fessler going off the course. All of a sudden, at the first left coming into the Motodrom, I suddenly had no brake pressure on the front axle. The rear tires locked up, and then I went into the tires. And we have a stop-and-go penalty for Alain Menu, and this comes from his car not being ready at the start of the race. So now he has to come in and take the penalty and then go back out. We are reaching the point where they will soon be able to make the tire changes, but he has to go back out and take care of it. He was in just a little too early to get his tires changed. The tire changes are mandatory, and this is going to set him back because he's done this, and he's going to have to go back out and come back in for the tire change. So we're expecting the cars now to start coming in for the tire change, and here's one of them, but the car is also damaged a little bit, it looks like. That's Marcel Fessler. They're going to work changing the tires. Looks like that hood has been rearranged just a little bit. More cars continue to come in. It will now become very busy, and this has become a scorer's nightmare. This is Tomczyk coming in. He's coming in way early, hoping to get out quick, and then when everybody else comes in to make up time on fresh tires. At least that's what he's hoping anyway. Tire change, a little long. Got it fixed, he's down and out. Whoa, that was close. That was very close. So now Tomczyk will go out and see what he can do on the new tires and see if he can make up some time. The question is going to be whether he's going to be able to do it or not. But he's being held up by one of the Opels. So Tomczyk, who wanted to make up some time, is now going to have to bide his time a little bit until he can get by here, which doesn't help him out at all. Meanwhile, the rest of the field will start to come in. There's Christian Abt coming in. His team going to work. You can see the rest of the teams lined up, ready to go. Christian Abt is out. And look at this. He made a mistake. Tomczyk made a mistake, goes off into the gravel. I got new tires at the pit stop, and I had some good times. But then I couldn't shift down, and I went into the gravel. It's too bad. It could have been good. So the rest of the field continues to sort itself out. The leader, Laurent Aiello, has gone into the pits and come back out, so he's working his way back through the pack. Karl Wendlinger has the lead, but he's going to have to pit here momentarily. So the pit stops take their toll as far as the timers are concerned. Marcel Tiemann driving in that green Mercedes. Kind of notice if he comes back into the picture again, there he goes by the door, is having a problem. The rest of the field continues to sort itself out here. You can see that door on Tiemann's car going by. Michel Bartels in that turquoise and black Opel, followed by Christian Abt and Karl Wendlinger. And this is Wendlinger, who is out in front, it looks like, and behind him then probably should come Aiello. There he is. So Wendlinger has not pitted yet. Aiello, who pitted already, is now running in what would be probably second place, as the rest of the field now starts to come in to do its pits. This is Mücker coming in, one of the new young drivers, German 20-year-old, makes his pit stop. You can see if everybody's allowed over to make the tire changes. They're meant to be quick. A problem here. He's not getting out. Something is wrong. Okay, let him out. Oh, and then he stalled. There he goes. That cost time. Once again, you can see that green Mercedes. There's the door of Marcel Timon. Either he wants somebody to get in or he better close it real quick. And now, Laurent Aiello has once again taken the lead. The Frenchman, who last year was the stalwart for Audi as he continued to work forward and bring the car to the front and win a race last year. He is out in front here in the main race of the German Touring Car Masters, opening race weekend of the season here in the short course at Hockenheim. There's the defending champion, Bernd Schneider, followed by Timo Scheider. Whoa, that's close. That's very close. Mirka spun. He had new tires. I probably didn't quite let him get warmed up. Here he comes. And there he goes. Really got outside too far and then got a little bit of a bump. And he's off. And he goes off again into the sand. That's probably a little bit of inexperience there, driving touring cars, not letting the tires get up to the necessary temperature. Meanwhile, Bernd Schneider continues to roll, the defending champion. There goes Mirka off again. He went off on his own. He just got to get used to the idea of new tires, not getting offline. All of this a part of the learning experience for the young German driver. I went out with new tires. I think Manuel was behind me, and I braked for the connecting session with new tires. It was just a little bit earlier than normal. I felt somebody hit me, and then he drove into my car. So, chalk that up to experience. The man with experience right here in the gray and red Mercedes, Bernd Schneider. Schneider continues to roll. He had a very disappointing qualifying for him, starting 7th. He worked his way around in the qualifying race and still wasn't satisfied. But now he seems to have the car pretty well set up for late in the feature race and is moving right up into the top group. Timo Scheider is right behind him. This could be a good battle that we saw earlier take place. Whether Scheider can figure out a way to get by the veteran is going to be something to see. Bernd Schneider, one of the best drivers in touring cars anywhere in the world, is not going to be easy to pass. He can make that car as wide as he needs it to be, so anybody has a hard enough time to get by. You might notice on that Opel of Scheider in the back on the wing, those two little hangers on the outside. That was something that Opel kind of snuck in on the last day, and they said they were going to put it in. They pulled it off right with the last moment, and they had to let him through. Now, whether it's an advantage or not, nobody knows, but it kind of upset everybody at first because they pulled it off and they got it through, but now we have to wait and see if it is an advantage somewhere. Right now, it doesn't seem to be much of an advantage because this man right here, Laurent Aiello, continues to roll as his team watches on. There you have Timo Scheider. And there you see those little handles on that rear wing. Opel says it helps stability. Who knows? Meanwhile, Mr. Stability, Bernd Schneider, continues to roll here. Back in the pack, but going for points. Bartels went off the course, comes back on. And look at that, Carl Wendlinger now is pulling up on Scheider. That's that blue Audi right behind him. Wendlinger from Formula One times, making his debut in these type of touring cars. He drove some touring cars in another series last year, but not quite the same as driving these. Scheider's using every bit of the road that he can. There's Christian Abt. He is running back, if my figures are right, back in about 6th position. And Abt is going to have to go in for a stop and go. And the report is it's because he passed under the yellow. So what had been a very good start for him and a chance to do well now seems to be something that's going to cause him a problem. In fact, it's going to drop him out of the top group, which is a shame for him because he has a great car and he's put together a great team, but he also is known for having somewhat of a temper when he's on the race course. He's had his share of run-ins with the officials and with the other drivers. So Christian Abt is going to have to take a stop and go here shortly, and when he does, it will certainly drop him back a ways. He had been running in third position. You look back there, Reuter is just coming into your picture right there. Manuel Reuter certainly has had his share of problems. He started off the day with a pretty good start, and then the car spun, and since then, he's certainly not been able to do everything that he would like to do. He's been way back in the pack. He is at least a lap down here. Trying to make good, at least to get back into some sort of a position for contending. This year, incidentally, the points are different. It used to take a lot of positions to get points. Now they're only 6. They took the Formula One rule of the 10-6-4-3-2-1 system. And so now the 3-2-1 system that they have in the qualifying race is taking on added importance because there are fewer points to be given in the main race. There's the crew from Audi waiting for their man to come in and take his stop and go, and here he comes. Christian Abt coming in to take a stop and go. After running in second position, he's going to drop back. You know he's going to be upset after this one. So he comes back out, and we'll have to wait and see about where he ends up on the track. He should be back in about the 6th, 7th, or 8th position. He drops behind a very tough group right there of Bernd Schneider, along with Timo Scheider and Karl Wendlinger. That's not going to be an easy group to contend with. And Bernd Schneider certainly is not letting anybody by him. Timo Scheider is getting no chance whatsoever to get by. Karl Wendlinger first has to get by Scheider before he can make any kind of attack on Bernd Schneider. But we're still waiting to see what happens there. Here comes Wendlinger. He's moving right up on Timo Scheider, but couldn't make the pass there. This is the battle back there for 5th and 6th position. Karl Wendlinger coming into the series new this year. He is one of the 3 drivers in the field with Formula One experience. Bernd Schneider, right there in that Mercedes, has Formula One time. Jean Alesi, we talked about earlier, and of course Wendlinger. And the flag is out for Marcel Timon to come in, and he's the one that's been having the trouble with his outside door. The official said, okay, let's get it fixed. You can't have it keep opening up, so he'll have to come into the pits. Meanwhile, Karl Wendlinger is putting an awful lot of pressure on Timo Scheider. The young driver is so far holding his own. The question is going to be, how long can he? Wendlinger, a very experienced driver. He has driven touring cars before, but not these necessarily. Boy, he's put on a tremendous performance today, and now he is putting the pressure on. And here comes Christian Abt right up behind him. So if you really want to look at it this way, Wendler's got a problem because he wants to get by Scheider, but what's even worse, he's got the boss right behind him. And there's Jean Alesi. Look at that. Jean Alesi in his first drive in German Touring Car Masters, running in 3rd place in his Mercedes. What a great race for him. The Frenchman has put on a tremendous performance. But the battle is still back here. And there, once again, Volker Stritzik. He's hoping that Timo Scheider can hang on and hold up the honor for the Opel crew. And there comes Wendlinger, and right behind him is boss, Christian Abt. You kind of wonder if there isn't some talk going on between the car and the pits. Hey, you going to let him get me by or not? I can imagine that conversation. Don't know if I'd like to hear it, though. Once again, Wendlinger tries to move up on Scheider as here's your leader, Laurent Aiello. What a great drive he has had. Then comes Ekström, then Reuter, who is further back, and then Jean Alesi running in 3rd place. In 4th place, Bernd Schneider. Wow, what a great drive for him. Timo Scheider still being pressured by Karl Wendlinger, and then Christian Abt. The Audi still out in front and running very, very strong with another Audi second with Ekström. Then comes the Mercedes. Here's Christian Abt to get a view of one of the cars going off ahead of him. And Manuel Reuter has gone off. Manuel Reuter in the Opel has gone off. He was way back. So he's going to take it slow here. He's on his own, threw up a lot of dirt, a whole lot of dirt on the track. This could make things slippery a little bit here. The crews watch as the battle continues back here for Timo Scheider. The young driver continues to do well, and everybody else seems to be going off in that dirt where Reuter left dirt on the track and everybody else sort of have spun through it. Looks like everybody else got through okay, but at this time, that dirt cost some people some positions. Here's what happened. That's Yves Olivier going off the course, and look at the dirt he throws out. No wonder everybody was spinning off. Amazing. And here comes Peter Dumbreck, and he goes right into the tires.
Well, just a bad race for me. I stalled at the start. I don't know why, just the car bogged down and stopped. And I had to fight my way back from almost last position, and then I had a spin when I touched another car. So from there I was really pushing very hard throughout the race, and I think I made up some positions, but someone went off and left a lot of dirt on the circuit, and I just arrived at that corner just behind Uwe Atzen, who also spun, and both of us just straight into the tire wall. So that's the end of my race.
And looks like this is the end of the race for Manuel Reuter as he brings in his Opel. It's not been the kind of day he has been expecting. The pit crew is ready for him. The question is, what can they do for him? Aiello is out in front. Ekström is running second. And the surprise of the day, Jean Alesi from France is running third in the Mercedes. And the race is slowly winding down. In fourth place, the defending champion, Bernd Schneider. Timo Scheider continues to hang on to his fifth place. Karl Wendlinger has backed off, and Christian Abt is behind him. Remember, the top 6 positions get points. And right now, the boss, Christian Abt, is running in 7th place. No points there. Interesting to see what happens here. As we mentioned earlier, it'd be nice to listen to the radio right now and hear the conversation. You still see some of that dirt on the course there, but it's spread out a little bit better. So Christian Abt running right behind Wendlinger. Here comes Marcel Thiemann. He came in. They fixed the door on his car, and he goes back out. You can see that they're pushing the Reuter car back into the garage, and his day's over. There's the Dumbreck car also. His day is over. Once again, you're riding with Christian Abt down the front straight here at Hockenheim, going into the new corner. Very narrow and much sharper, but they have the asphalt to the left as a runoff zone. A number of the drivers think that's great. They don't like the gravel asphalt, which has a tendency to get the cars locked up and they can't get out. They hope that that will help competition so cars can get off and then come back on again if they make a mistake. Christian Abt sitting back in the 7th position. A point not available to him, but right ahead of him is one of his cars, Karl Wendlinger. And he's looking to pick up that 1 point available for 6th position. Again, they changed the point system this year, running on the Formula One point system of 10, 6, 4, 3, 2, 1. Top 6 positions getting points. Right now, Christian Abt can only kind of sit back, and if Wendlinger continues to run, evidently no team strategy here. We're just going to let everybody run and finish where they can. Bernd Schneider, who is proving to be a contender here no matter when he races, today is proving to be the man that knows that his car isn't quite right, but he's going to bring it forward no matter what and pick up as many points as he can. A very smart drive on his part. Wendlinger and Abt right now staying in the picture because it's by far one of the closest races as this event is wearing down. The next stop on the tour will be up in Zolder, Belgium, a very narrow, tight course. It's the first time this series has been there since it's been renamed the German Touring Masters. It used to be a regular stop. Always provides exciting racing, particularly the last corner before the front straightaway. Aiello is now mixed into some of these slower transportation here. Make it a little bit difficult for him here. Uwe Alsen with problems. The car has been beaten up severely. The question is, can he bring it home? However, if he does, there's still going to be no points. It's just a matter of perseverance and self-motivation. Norbert Haug on the right, sports director for Mercedes. Probably surprised and a little bit happy with the way that Bernd Schneider has kept the car together, but even more surprised at the great drive by Jean Alesi, who was running in third place. Laurent Aiello trying to move forward, but getting nowhere. Aiello is just getting absolutely nowhere. He has Yves Olivier ahead of him, and Olivier is not getting out of the way. Olivier does not want to be lapped. Bartels is behind him, so your leader here is caught between those two cars. With the race running down, he's probably getting messages from the pit saying, okay, hold on, no one's going to bother you right now. Just hold on and keep position and go from there. Ekström, who's running second, is further back and is really no threat to him. He can kind of coast here. Only a couple of laps to go. Christian Abt going a little bit wide here at Hockenheim. But he holds on to position. Get a look as they come into the stadium crowd. Aiello once again pulling up, but not going anywhere. I don't think he really wants to push that hard to get by. He's out in front. The victory seems to be his if he can bring the car home. He continues to bring it in. You saw the Elson car for a moment with that fender going loose. Hans-Jürgen Abt not at all happy about the performance of Olivier, not letting his man by. But we're in the last lap. All that Laurent Aiello has to do is bring it home. There goes Alsen. Laurent Aiello, 32 years old, from France, has won just about everything you can with the exception of a Formula One race. He's won Le Mans. He's won touring cars. And considered to be one of the top touring cars drivers in Europe. And here at Hockenheim, he's about to pick up his first victory of the 2002 season, the beginning of the season for the German Touring Car Masters. And there he is. He's headed for the start-finish line. Here he comes. He pulls over, takes the checkered flag. Laurent Aiello, your winner. The German Touring Car Masters feature race here at Hockenheim. And a happy crew there to greet him. And also a great performance by this man. Jean Alesi comes by the Mercedes crew, finishing third. What a fantastic run. Bernd Schneider rolls in fourth place. Timo Scheider and then Karl Wendlinger. In seventh place, Christian Abt. No points. The crews can now celebrate the first season, and this man certainly can. He has been very loyal to the Audi team. He stuck with them as things were difficult, and then they started to improve, and now he is victorious at Hockenheim. It's a great day for Laurent Aiello.
The second race was better, and then it was quite not an easy race, but I had to just take care of my brakes. A little bit of problems with the brakes, but you know, first race of the championship, you never know where you are with the brakes situation, so it's quite normal, and everything worked perfectly.
And for the fans, well, the ones that cheer the most right now have to be the Audi fans. Look at that, Laurent Aiello and then Ekström, but the great performance by Jean Alesi from France in his very first touring car adventure. He comes in third for Mercedes. Defending champion Bernd Schneider comes in a very respectable fourth after all the problems that he evidently has had all weekend long. The rest of the field working its way through here after the first event. And this is Jean Alesi going out and talking to the fans. He does things his way. It looks like some fan is going to get a very expensive and very valuable souvenir. How about that? The helmet went flying, and that just tops his day.
After the bad qualifying, I was really good at the start, and finally I was behind Bernd Schneider for the first 13 laps. I learned so many things of his driving style with this car, which is very difficult. And for the second race, I had again a fantastic start. I was third at the first corner, and I keep the speed up. And I was able to finish on the podium.
And so the Drivers' Championship, a whole different picture than last year. Laurent Aiello on top, Ekström is second, Jean Alesi is third, and of course, the traditional celebration. But there's your winner, Laurent Aiello. Not only is Aiello the winner, Audi is the winner. And the championship has a whole new look in 2002. And one reason for that whole new look is some of the younger generation who are succeeding, including another Audi pilot, that being Mattias Ekström.
In the start I had a perfect first start and the second one was also good, but then I had to turn a little bit because Martin, I think, stole it on the grid. But then my car was perfect all the time. My pit stop was not so perfect, but all in all, right now it feels like it's not so important. And I can only say the car is perfect. My Audi TT have been working very well the complete weekend.
And that does it for our coverage from Hockenheim. The next stop on the tour, Zolder, Belgium. I'm Milt Fitzwater. We'll see you in Zolder for the German Touring Car Masters.